To really grasp how this works, we have to look at the mind the way this framework does, as a programmable circuit. Think of your consciousness like a massive, self-correcting software suite. The core idea is that you are not a victim of your thoughts. You are the programmer. The entire goal of the system is to transition you from being passively reactive into an active designer of your own reality. Because when you treat your mind like a circuit, you can actually go in and diagnose the energetic blockages. You can assess exactly where you're resisting things and then literally compile brand new code for your life.
But here is the catch. To rewrite that internal code, someone, or something, has to actually sit down at the keyboard, right? In this system, that is the objective self. This is represented by taking what's called the throne at key 7. The objective self has to take this throne so it can act as the real-time processor and observer of the mind's mechanics. You have to learn how to watch your own emotions and thoughts without getting totally swept away by the current. You become the conscious observer of the circuit, rather than just being the raw electricity blindly running through it. And that whole mechanical blueprint, it builds up directly to our core focus for today's explainer. The journey starting from key 0, which is pure source potential, working through the physical grounding of those early keys, and finally taking the throne at key 7, it all leads right up to a massive, pivotal threshold. It's the culmination of the foundational circuit. This is basically where the prep work ends and the true conscious mastery actually begins. And key 9 is that ultimate threshold. Here, the term self-awareness isn't just some casual, feel-good buzzword. In this system, it is the exact mechanical shift where you evolve from being a passive observer, even if you're a seated observer on the throne, into a fully conscious, integrated participant in your own existence. It marks the total completion of the 0-9 journey. The foundation is officially laid, and the circuit is finally ready to be closed. It's fascinating when you look at the harmonic cheat sheet for key 9 because the attributes just line up so perfectly. The center focus is, of course, self-awareness. The color is gold, which represents a full, complete cycle. The element is pure ether, essentially untethered, limitless potential. And the archetype? The return. Even the core statements are incredibly powerful. I return and I know. It's this brilliant illustration of coming full circle. You are returning back to pure potential, but this time you have complete conscious self-mastery. So let's formally define what key 9 means within the mechanics of this system. Self-awareness here is defined as the conscious recognition of oneself as the observer, the chooser, and the creator. It is the precise moment where the self finally, truly knows itself. You see, you aren't just watching anymore. You are actively choosing what to do with that knowing. It completely grounds that foundational 0-9 journey. And according to the doctrine, achieving this state is exactly what prepares you to govern much higher universal laws and start directing source energy.
Okay, so what does this actually look like in practice? Well, on the unconscious path, it's a super simple robotic loop. An event happens and a reaction immediately follows. Boom, boom. Pure autopilot. But the self-aware path of key 9, it inserts a critical, massive circuit breaker. An event happens, you pause, and then you make a conscious choice. That one little addition completely disrupts the automatic historical software running in your brain. Because the truth is, your real freedom lies entirely within that pause. Between an event happening out there in the world and your internal reaction to it, there is this tiny microsecond of space. And that space, that is your literal freedom. That is exactly how the governing power of the self, remember, sitting up there on key 7's throne, is finally put into physical action through key 9. If you don't take that pause, you aren't choosing anything. Your old programming is simply choosing for you. So to actively utilize key 9 in your real life, you have to perform what the text calls a sacred audit. This means you have to aggressively drag your invisible subconscious beliefs out of the dark and into the light. You have to interrogate them. Ask yourself, does this belief actually support my growth? Or is it just limiting my potential right now? Is this reaction true, or is it honestly just familiar? Remember the golden rule of this system. What remains unexamined rules you, period. But what becomes examined, that can be rewritten. Think of these 3 steps as a literal software patch that you can install in your daily life today.
Step 1, the event or the trigger occurs. Step 2, you utilize that sacred pause to just observe what your automatic programming is screaming at you to do. Step 3, you make a conscious choice and you execute an aligned action. By running this exact cybernetic sequence, you stop repeating historical mistakes. You start consciously directing your vital energy, which this system refers to as thermodynamic willpower or spirit, toward actual intentional growth.
I absolutely love this quote from the text because it completely reframes the entire purpose of doing this work. It says, you complete the 0 to 9 journey not by becoming someone new, but by consciously becoming who you have always been, a creator within creation. It's so profound. Key 9 doesn't fundamentally change your identity. It's not about becoming a different person. It simply strips away all that heavy autopilot programming and returns you to your original sovereign power. It's the ultimate realization that you are an eternal spark with the sheer capacity to design reality.
So I'm going to leave you with this direct, daily audit question right from the heart of the 9th key. When you are inevitably triggered today, when someone cuts you off in traffic, when you get that super frustrating email from your boss, when things just don't go to plan, are you going to react on autopilot, or will you utilize the sacred pause? The choice between being a passive reactor and an active architect of your own reality, it all happens in that one single tiny moment of awareness. Test the mechanics yourself today, run the audit, and just see what happens when you finally take the throne.